Hi, this is a tutorial on how to use the factor label method to solve problems. In Chemistry 1, we are, by our state standards, required to learn this method. So you have to solve these problems this way. A lot of you have been taught things like proportions and different stuff in other classes, and later on you can choose. But for right now, according to state standards, we have to learn this process. So I gave you a 9-step instruction sheet for factor label method, and I'm just going to follow that instruction sheet down on this example so you can see what I'm talking about. So number 1 says draw an answer line on the right hand side. And write the appropriate label on the answer line. So I go back and I read the question to find out what they're asking me for. It says how many guncodons are there in 2.1 aximeters? So where do we want to end up? Well, we want to end up at guncodons. You're not supposed to understand what these units are. That's kind of the point, is that it discourages you from trying to solve it a different way. So they're just bizarre labels on purpose. Just follow the 9 steps. So I drew the answer line and I put in the appropriate label. Step 1 done. Put the given over 1 on the left hand side. So over here you write what was given in the problem and you write it as a fraction to over 1. So 2.1 aximeters. And make sure you put the label, because that's important. The whole point of the factor label method is for the labels to guide you through whether to multiply or divide and by what numbers. Step 3, draw a multiplication sign. I'm going to draw mine as an X. You can draw it as a dot if you want to. And a fraction bar. So I have that. Step 4, whatever label is over here has to come down there. So put an A down there. And that's true every time you do the problem. Whatever's over on the top left over here has to go down to the bottom of the next one. Step 5, copy the answer label on the top of the conversion factor. So this one has to go on top. So we're going to put GD on top. And then you need to know the conversions for how many guncodons equals how many aximeters. That is given on a different slide. Hang on and I'll find that for you. Okay, before we do that, actually, there's another step in there, number 6. Check to make sure the labels cancel except the last one. Now remember, I said to treat labels as if they're variables. So if I have an A on top and an A on bottom, here and here, then they can cancel each other out. So like having an X on top and an X on bottom. Then one label should be left over, and that's the one that you want at the end. So we should have a GD left somewhere, which is here. So yes, the labels cancel. So now we're ready to go to number 7, fill in the numbers. Well, on the other slide, it told us, so you didn't see this slide since you were absent, or you did and you're just rewatching this and you have it already. 43.27 aximeters equals 609.8 guncodons. And then wherever the label is down here, like the A is with the 43.27, it has to go with the 43.27 at the top. So since A is right here, we can't move that. Then we have to put the 43.27 here. So the label told me what to do, thus the name factor label. And then Goncodon's GD is on top, so we're going to put 609.8 on top. So wherever the label is, that's where the number has to go. You have to keep the label with its number. So that takes care of number 7, so we move on to number 8, which is multiply the tops, multiply the bottoms. So that's why I conveniently left myself a little space here. The top multiplies out to 1,280.58. And the bottom, 1 times 43.27 would be 43.27. Then you take the top and divide it by the bottom. And I had said before, until I show you in the next unit how to round, you should round at least 4 numbers. So 29, that's 2, 5, 9, 5. And I'm just going to cut off there. So I could have rounded one less, but I would have had to round up and think about it. So I just went with 5. So either the easiest way to do it is just keep the whole number or keep a whole bunch of them. And that is how you do a factor label problem. Good luck.